Hi guys, Iron Cameraman here. Take a close look at his face. Can this lil guy really be evil? Agreed at this point, of all the characters in Skibidi Toilet, he is the one who is the most well-developed in terms of plot and his journey. That's why I said repeatedly that he couldn't be a simple character. I was sure Da Fook Boom had put more into him than just another dumb villain. You may recall an old interview with Steak where he confirmed that G-man is his favorite character among villains. However, if you believe everything we were shown earlier, it comes out that G-man is pure evil. Here are the highlights that prove it. Episode 12. The first episode where he uses weapons against agents. Episodes 20 and 22, active participation in the fights. From episode 33 to 57, used Speakerman Titan as a puppet and used him to kill a huge number of agents, essentially giving him tasks and being his main coordinator. In episode 65, along with the scientist, he nearly killed 2 Titans using a devious trap with a fake G-man. And then suddenly, starting in episode 73, he proposes an alliance with the Alliance. Recall his line where he said, "You need me." As well as the phrase in the extra scenes in season 24, where he explicitly asks for a chance with the words, "Give me one chance." I'll remind you that all these events took place before the fateful scene in episode 74, where the Astro Toilets launched their first major attack against the Titans. Such a drastic and unexpected turn in G-man's behavior has made me rethink my views on this character. Today you will learn why G-man is not really a villain, and never was. Specifically, I'll share my thoughts on his next encounter with TV man Titan, which, based on Boom's answers in various interviews, is supposed to happen in part 3 or 4 of episode 77. For this video, I dug up a lot of information and reread almost all of Da Fook's interviews, so I'd love it if you'd support me with a like under this video. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe, because 71% of viewers watch my videos without subscribing. Let's fix that situation. Watch all the way to the end so you don't miss anything. Anyway, here we go. In the beginning, I already listed why G-Toilet is disliked by agents, but don't forget about the humans. They are a key element in my theory. In fact, G-man's army enslaved the humans, and at the beginning of the war, it was at their expense that they replenished their ranks, which allowed them to dominate the agents. The agents, in turn, were also formerly human, but their transformation required a lot of resources and time, as they became robots not by magic music, but by a beam in special laboratories, as we saw in Camerawoman's flashbacks. And that's the biggest difference between the Alliance and the Skibidi Toilets. If you become a toilet against your will and lose control of yourself, then in the case of becoming an agent, the story is quite different. People asked to join the Alliance themselves to get revenge on the toilets. And here's the weird thing. The agent's creator, represented by Secret Agent, and the main Skibidi Toilet, represented by G-man, despite their different approaches and philosophies of war, come together in a coalition long before the whole Astro Toilet situation. We see the Secret Agent helping a character who is actually responsible for the deaths of thousands, if not tens of thousands of agents. This absurd situation led me to one conclusion. I didn't think I'd ever say this, but maybe G-Toilet didn't kill anyone. In the beginning, I told you about the different philosophies of the army of agents and the Skibidi Toilets. However, that scheme has changed with each new episode, and the situation is radically different at this point. In episode 68, for example, we got confirmation that the Skibidi Toilets have another way to replenish their army. They just stamp it out in a factory. And given that they're now friends with the agents, it's clear that they won't be touching people anymore. And actually, if you pay attention, with each new episode there are such smart Skibidi mutants that it's almost impossible to distinguish them from humans. The only difference is the presence of a toilet instead of a head and superior strength and durability. Some of the most prominent examples of these characters are almost the entire G-Squad, the Skibidi Woman, and G-Toilet himself. Unlike in the first episode, many of the Skibidi Toilets don't constantly sing the "dop dop yes yes" song. Most of them communicate in normal human language, and in general their heads no longer twitch like a washing machine with a brick shoved in it. But what has changed? Are the Skibidi Toilets themselves getting smarter and smarter over time? I think there is another explanation for the phenomenon here. Dafuk Boom answered me in my last interview that one can only become something better after transformation. Based on this answer, it is clear that turning toilets back into humans is impossible, so the secret agent came up with another plan. He was the one who helped G-man create an improved race in the form of Skibidi mutants. After all, he already has experience in transformations and creating different agents, and it is to his advantage more than anyone else to transform his enemies into smarter beings in order to follow a plan that only he, G-man, and his assistants know. Furthermore, the plan was to gradually, albeit in the body of a hybrid, return people's minds to a normal state rather than a zombie-like one. Now we come to the most interesting part of my theory. This is where you'll understand what I meant by the phrase, G-man never killed anyone. Do you remember Dafuk's legendary response to an audience member about Lucky Cameraman? At the time, Boom said it was part of the plan, meaning even his arrest was foreseen and everything was happening exactly as planned. It's no secret that almost the entire Skibidi Toilet series is made up of various plans and tactics. Periodically, we see Dafuk Boom show one thing and then it turns out to be a hoax. And the whole time we didn't even realize what the catch was. The clearest example of this artistic device is the trap in episode 65. Before that, few people suspected that G-man might be a fake, although Dafuk Boom hinted at it repeatedly, from G-man's lasers being smaller than usual since episode 60, to a direct message in episode 64 that said, "Trap," on the monitor. Now I'll try to anticipate the next such plot twist. But this time, it won't be another trap that we'll forget about in a couple episodes, but something really massive. Let's look back at an additional scene from season 23. There we saw Dafuk Boom use his ability to bring the slain Lucky Cameraman back into his body. In episode 70, we saw the same ability, but in reverse, he killed Plunger, which is noticeable from the green interference visible to the naked eye. What's interesting is that Dafuk uses this ability very rarely, even though it seems overly powerful. Why is that? The answer lies on the surface, folks. If you watched my exclusive interview, you already know my theory about the secret agent's origin. In a nutshell, it is that he came from another universe where technology has gone much further than our version of Earth. It also talked about the Astro Toilets attacking his version of Earth, from where he escaped to our reality to warn the government and take action. It was for this reason that the government appointed him as an administrator at Alpha Hills Labs, where the development of technology to prevent the attack began. This is the reason he knew about the attack in advance. Remember his phrase to Plunger in episode 70 before his death. G-man also knew about it, as he used to be an Astro Toilet. This can only mean one thing. G-man and Secret Agent were cooperating from the beginning, but no one knew about it, and it was kept top secret. Now you might have a reasonable question. What was the point of all this? Why would they secretly cooperate and yet really fight each other for 73 episodes, only to then have their armies unite before a common enemy? For one thing, G-man had no other choice. In the beginning, he didn't have the power or respect among his fighters to go up against the Astro Toilets. If he had done so then, it would have been a step towards certain death. Secondly, after talking to the secret agent, he realized that he had no chance of winning against the Alliance, as it was likely that the secret agent had revealed his trump cards to him and explained that he could resurrect his fighters. Therefore, it was better to cooperate and not use his powers to their full potential. The best solution was to cooperate with the secret agent and follow the plan, which G-Toilet did. Now let's move on to the secret agent. Why would he himself take such a gamble and fight at less than full strength? What is this strange plan that seems silly at first glance? Because if he was helping his army normally, he could have dealt with the Skibidi Toilets much sooner. The thing is, while he could have won the battle with the Skibidi Toilets that we saw in the first 3 arcs of the series right away, in that case, he would have very likely lost the war. He fled his home planet after failing to defeat the Astro Toilets and realized that second chances had to be used wisely. Knowing what would happen if the Skibidi Toilets started losing, he made a horse move. He explained the situation to G-man and agreed to fight on equal terms. That is, they had a pact to realistically show to an outside observer, the Astro Toilets, that they were serious. This plan wasn't told to the rank and file, only to the very select few, like lucky cameraman. You've probably heard the phrase, "War is the engine of progress." Although this fact is sad, it is unfortunately true. It is during war that the riskiest and potentially effective technologies are often created. Think of how many technologies and improvements both the Alliance and the Skibidi Toilet's army have gotten over the course of all three arcs. The Alliance's strength at the beginning of the series in no way compares to their current strength. Following Secret Agent's cunning plan, G-man is supposed to become the head of all the Skibidi races and lead the Astro Toilets after they win, just like he did before. After all, judging by the footage in episode 74, he was demoted and decided to take the chance. Secret Agent, on the other hand, will in turn gain control of his home version of Earth and free our Earth. Soon, I think Dafuk Boom will bring back many of the agents he killed. This will happen when the time is right and the Alliance can reveal all its trump cards. But right now, it's too risky. The fighters aren't ready to know the truth, because it will turn out that they fought for 73 episodes for the sake of the show. Because of this, they may lose morale. Agree, how can you trust the commander, who all this time could resurrect the dead, but did not do it for the sake of some cunning plan? You don't know what to expect from such a leader, and the fighters will start to suspect that there are still ulterior motives, which will cause distrust. So I guess the secret agent has no desire to reveal this secret just yet. However, a possible intermediary would be TV Man Titan. In episode 3 or 4 of episode 77, this information could change the relationship between him and G-man. Of course, G-Toilet himself won't be able to tell about it, as there will be many prying eyes and ears around. This will be handled by the secret agent in private, talking to TV Man Titan when he's convinced that there's no way to reach an amicable agreement. Dafuk said that extreme measures may be necessary to reconcile them. That extreme measure might be the truth, which I've been talking about throughout the video. To summarize in simple terms, the secret agent has artificially created competition to prepare for the onslaught of Astro Toilets. With the help of his fake assistants, he made sure the agents didn't lose too much but also didn't win too much. Upon learning of this, the scientist refused to cooperate with him and so died. G-man, on the other hand, had long ago accepted the plan, and that's why the Astro Toilets called him a traitor in episode 72, because he was cooperating with the secret agent and they found out about it. I had another global theory that complements this one, but to keep the video short, I decided to move it to a separate video that will be released in 2 days. So subscribe so you don't miss it. G-Toilet often avoids battles, trying not to cause unnecessary pain. But sometimes he has to play along to keep the secret. You have to sacrifice the truth to win. So when you watch the show and hear Titan Cameraman say, "For plunger," you realize in the back of your mind that he can be brought back to life at any moment. And in fact, he didn't die fighting a villain. He died artificially, and it's all done for the sake of victory, but at the cost of manipulating the feelings of those who were once human. My theory explains a lot of what happens in the show, particularly the issue of the secret agent's strange behavior. But this is, of course, one possible interpretation. Write in the comments how plausible it seems to you. And if you think that I'm too much into theory, agree. The process of searching for meanings is no less important than the series itself and the original idea of the author. I mean, that's what good authors strive for, to make us think, analyze, and answer questions that seem almost insoluble. This is the beauty of the work. I recommend checking out my other videos. Bye-bye.